Hi, everyone. I'm Eric Boeing. Welcome to Cashin In. Our Cashin In crew this week: Wayne Rogers, Jonathan Honig, Michelle Fields, and Juan Williams. Welcome, everybody. As we celebrate Memorial Day, the Obama administration is under fire for treating our heroes like zeros. Our veterans are suffering and dying because of government incompetence. I received a call from a Republican congresswoman who alerted me to the fact that the VA was highly unionized. That set off bells and alarms in my head. So we did a little digging here at Cashin In, and here's what we found. Nearly 8 in 10 VA workers are unionized. Now, Michelle, that came as a complete shock to me and probably everyone who's watching right now. No one's talking about the union angle to this VA scandal. Tell us, is this a big reason why our vets are being mistreated?
Absolutely. Look, unions are the ones who are really standing in the way of real reform happening at the VA. The unions keep saying, well, it's because we need more money. Well, we need more staff. Well, that's not the case at all. It's them. They are the problem. They are the ones who are standing in the way of real reform, and they are the ones who are not allowing things to happen. I mean, that's it, plain and simple.
And Wayne, you know, when you think about the VA scandal, our veterans are dying on wait lists and whatnot. And when you think about a union, unions typically aren't in a big rush to get the job done, are they?
No, and not only that, Eric, you know, this was known about for a number of years. That's the part that's really startling. The president actually talked about it. I mean, he knew about it. He talked about it when he was running for president. He knew that this kind of thing was going on, and yet he did nothing about it.
Yeah. Hey, Juan, what about this union angle? I mean, we're shocked to find that 78% of all VA workers are unionized. I mean, do they really need to be unionized? And by the way, is that part of the problem? Is that why it's taking some of our veterans so long to get health care?
Right. You know, they've been unionized for a very long time, Eric. You know, government has a high rate of unionization, and I don't see how that's related to the ongoing problems here. What we got is a scandal in which somebody was keeping secret lists in terms of giving service to people. The quality is not the issue. Access is the issue. And it just seems to me like you want to beat up on unions. I mean, I don't get it. What do unions have to do with this?
Eric, just keep in mind, Eric.
Go ahead, John.
To quote Juan Williams, I can't believe what I'm hearing. I mean, yeah, I think quality is of some interest to all those people who died as a result of the scandal.
Nobody died. You have any evidence that anybody died? Zero.
But let me just say, I think we have too many vets to begin with. We treat our soldiers like sacrifices. We've been more worried for years about what the Muslim street thinks about us rather than keeping our kids healthy, safe, and bringing them home. I think a moral foreign policy, we'd see many less vets than we have now. But I think to Wayne and Michelle's point, you know, what is the VA? The VA is socialized medicine. The government owns, finances, runs the whole thing. That's why unions have grown. No private sector enterprise wants to work with the unions. They're only growing in the government where they can use government force.
Jonathan, you have to realize the VA's ratings are higher than private sector hospitals and health care.
So Juan, let me just understand.
When they get in the system, they get good treatment.
Juan, put yourself in their shoes. You'd rather go to the VA than the Mayo Clinic? Is that what I'm hearing?
What are you talking about? That's like the champagne of all health care in the world.
I'm just telling you. Allow me this.
Doesn't have the ratings of VA.
Give them vouchers.
This is a very good discussion. I have to move on to the second part of this topic because it's amazing. As outraged as we are about our vets dying while waiting for health care, almost as outrageous, however, is President Obama's claim he heard about the VA problems from listening to the news. Watch.
I heard on the news. I first learned about it from the same news reports that I think most people learned about this.
When did the president find out about the Department of Justice's subpoenas for the Associated Press?
He found out about the news reports yesterday.
When was the president first made aware of these problems?
We learned about them through the reports.
All right. Juan, am I supposed to believe that the leader of the free world, variably the most powerful man on the planet, is finding out about all these things because he's watching Fox or whatever channel he watches?
Yeah, I hope he's watching Fox because then he would learn about these things. How is he supposed to know? How do you think President Bush learned about the scandal?
How is he supposed to know?
Hold on.
How is he supposed to know?
How did President Bush learn about the scandal at Walter Reed?
Please, what's going to happen? What, is he going to find out about the next terrorist attack when he watches the video on TV?
That's a good point, Eric. How did President Bush find out about the 9/11 attacks? Guess what? Someone came and whispered in his ear. You're expecting that the president's supposed to know everything about everything?
13 years ago, and allegedly we spent trillions of dollars, and allegedly President Obama said we're winning the war on terror. I would say if he's finding out about this stuff on TV, we ain't winning squat. Go ahead, John.
And how is he supposed to know? It's his job to know. He is the commander-in-chief. I just got stuck on LSD this last couple of days when he's clocking up the LSD for a fundraising trip here in Chicago. It is his job to know. The president is the commander-in-chief. And if he was forward-thinking even just a little bit, he'd think about giving some of these vets, these heroes, vouchers. Let them go purchase the health care they want rather than having to go to the VA, which, Juan, you apparently love, but I've heard from many vets on Twitter, they say the service is atrocious.
Can I just say that Obama and Biden were actually briefed about this in 2008. Their transition team was briefed about this. He ran on this, fixing the VA. And going back to the unions, a lot of Americans don't realize, but there are hundreds of people who work at the VA, make six-figure salaries paid for by taxpayers, and they do nothing for veterans. 100% of their time is spent working on union-related things. Why are unions helping out the...
Let me get
you guys are hurting your case by going off this way.
Wayne's been very patient here. You wanted to weigh in very early, but go ahead, Wayne.
Two things. Maybe they didn't hear me. I said that the president knew about this long beforehand. Right. He knew about this when he was running for president. So all of this conversation about him not knowing and finding on the news is a lot of BS.
But why are they doing it, Wayne? Why does Jake Carney stand up there and look at the camera and tell the American people we didn't know?
Why does the president say you can keep your doctor? Period. You can keep your plan, your medical plan. Yeah. Period. Why? Because he's lying. We've documented 36 lies. He's a politician. He's a great speaker. We know that. He's a gifted speaker, and therefore he can use that to fool the American people. And by the way, most people don't listen to us. They listen to him.
Yeah. Why is that, Juan? Why is Wayne 100% right on that? They're looking in the camera and telling us fabrications directly.
You know, I feel like I'm down the rabbit hole with you guys. The fact is we've got a scandal here because there was a secret list. There was no secret list back in 2008. It was generally lack of quick access for veterans to get in the system. That's what the president was talking about back then. We have a new scandal. I hate to break it to you. Watch Fox News.
Let me hear. Michelle, go ahead.
Obama and Biden were briefed about this. They were told not to believe any of the information coming from the VAs, that they were cooking the books. So you're lying, Juan, or you have the wrong information.
They were cooking the books about the list. Nobody knew there were secret lists in which they were absolutely not being honest.
All right, go ahead, John.
It's a function of the entity itself. I mean, we've documented I don't know how many cases of these bureaucracies, mismanagement, waste of taxpayer money, left and right. The only person, Eric, the only group that would be hurt by actually privatizing some of the care for our heroic soldiers are the unions. They're the ones that are benefiting through the use of force at keeping these jobs.
I got to tell you, we're going to have to leave it there, but I'm going to tell you this union angle is absolutely stunning and outrageous. I can't believe. But you know what? You can continue the conversation on Twitter right now. Hashtag Cashin In. Trending on Twitter. Get this, 17 weeks in a row. Be sure to keep it up. Let's make it 18. Make your voice heard again when Cashin In trends. You trend. Check these out. Ron Pritchard 1 writes, Obama says people will be held accountable at the VA. Yeah, right. Just like Benghazi, IRS, NSA, Fast and Furious, nobody is held accountable ever. And Logic Prevail says, funny how Carney, Obama, and the left always eagerly await investigation, never any answers. Hashtag VA, IRS, Benghazi, Fast and Furious, and Cashin In. Coming up.